Hello again, I'm Johnny Freeborn. We're back, and we're here to talk with my next guest, Carolyn Kosanouvong-Walker.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
Yes,
all right.
close enough.
First try, almost.
Yes.
Well, it's great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming, and why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do? You're with Arthritis Introspective?
Yes, I am an arthritis support network leader, and it's actually being a support group leader for a group that I lead here for anyone living within Fresno County. And I'm a volunteer of a private nonprofit organization called Arthritis Introspective.
I see.
And Arthritis Introspective this year, actually, we became a partner of the Arthritis Foundation. So what we do is we offer resources and support for adults who live with arthritis and other rheumatic conditions.
I see. Okay. Someone who has arthritis maybe wants to get a hold of your nonprofit. How do they go about doing that?
They can actually go onto our national website and log on to arthritisintrospective.org. And then there's a list of different resources, and they can also find out local support groups in their area.
I see.
And then they can also find me under Fresno County, California.
Now, living with arthritis can be super painful, I would imagine, and maybe even debilitating from being in society. So there's a need for folks to find that social interaction and things like that.
Yes. You know, a lot of people have this misconception or misunderstanding that arthritis is an old age disease. But, you know, children are diagnosed with juvenile idiopathic arthritis. And I myself personally was diagnosed at 3 years old, so it's carried on into my adulthood. So living with it for more than 40 years of my life. So it is a very painful, it is a chronic condition, and the type I have is rheumatoid arthritis. It is an inflammatory type of arthritis where it has affected all the joints in my body. So, and that's why we have these support groups is people with arthritis and other rheumatic conditions live with chronic pain every day of their lives. So we want to bring together a group where we support each other, you know, to encourage each other and provide education about what's available in our local community, you know, in terms of available medications and treatment and things of that nature. So it's kind of like not just surviving every day, but thriving and having a good quality of life for ourselves.
I see. Wow. Well, thank you for the platform that you guys provide in your nonprofit and creating this accessible group that folks can come and be a part of.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you guys do in the groups?
What we do is we have a monthly meeting, and anyone can find out about our meeting by going into our website, the arthritisintrospective.org. And for my group specifically, of course, there's only 2 months left of this year. And so we have actually a big event coming up at the end of October, on October 29th. It's going to be an educational and social gathering event that it's going to be held at the Clovis United Methodist Church.
Okay.
And we have two presenters. Our topic for this month is about arthritis and disabilities awareness and yoga and arthritis. So I'm going to be one of the speakers who's going to be discussing about arthritis as a leading cause of disability in this country. And then we have a second presenter, and her name is Danette Lamy, and she's actually a certified yoga instructor here in the Fresno area. She holds a class, kind of like an adaptive chair yoga class for seniors and people who have mobility issues. And so she's going to be talking about the benefits of yoga and how it helps us deal with our pain so that our joints will be a little bit flexible.
Well, we live in a great day of modern science and medicine, and I hope to God in the next 10 years there's a cure for arthritis, because I can't imagine living in pain every day. And is there any foreseeable cures that they're on to right now?
Well,
that might be outside of your expertise.
Yes,
but...
I know. Well, I won't touch about. Well, right now there is no known cure for arthritis. I know the Arthritis Foundation works with different, like, scientists and doctors and different advocacy groups, finding. They're still in the process of finding a cure. Right now, the available types of treatment is, medication and exercise, and there's, depending on the stage of an individual and their diagnosis. Say, for example, a person who has had progressive type of inflammatory arthritis, it's caused joint deformities, and so, joint replacements, for example, is a type of treatment.
I see.
Like, for me, example, and people, when they look at me, they don't know, they might not know if I'm sitting behind a desk that I have rheumatoid arthritis, but you can see my hands, it's affected my hands and my foot, for example, and so these are permanent deformities that I have as a result of the aggressive inflammation during my youth.
Okay. My mom just made it out of her second knee surgery from rheumatoid arthritis, and so it's nothing to scoff at or browse over. And thank you so much for what you guys are providing for these folks. One more time, how can they get a hold of you and stay in contact with the groups?
There's actually, they can call me. There's a flyer up, and at the bottom of that flyer, there is my telephone number and email address, and there's also the website address. And that flyer that's currently up is our event that's going to be held. Yes, that's a flyer, Arthritis Introspective. And at the bottom of that, it has my contact information, my name, email address, and phone number, and the website.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Carolyn. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we go?
I think I pretty much covered everything.
That covers it, okay.
Yes. So we hope that anyone is interested in coming to our October event. It is free of charge, and there will be a fall harvest potluck following the presentation. So it's and we want to encourage people to come out, and one doesn't have to have arthritis, or maybe you may know a friend, a neighbor, a coworker. Just pass the word around to let them know that there is a support group here in Fresno.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you.
And it's been a pleasure meeting you, and make sure you come back from time to time on the show, would you?
Thank you.
Wonderful. We'll be right back.